Are you a freelance photographer? Do you have a lot of stuff going on in your life? Well, there's a new company on the scene that has built a service that aims to bring all that into one interface and make life easy for you. That's coming your way next. This is TWiP. All right, folks, this is going to be an interesting interview. I know I always say that, but this is really going to be an interesting interview. I'm sitting here with my friend, Paul Mikhaylenko. He is one of the co-founders of a company called Picr out of New York City, and they've created a CRM, a customer relationship management type software as a service that does just like what I said in the tease there. It aims to take a bunch of things that we as freelance photographers have been doing and make it easy, bring them all kind of under one umbrella. So Paul, welcome to This Week in Photo, man. It's good to have you on.
Frederick, it's awesome to be here. I see in your face, it just makes me happy every time this happens.
That's good. Awesome.
It's a good day. It's a good day when I can talk to Frederick. It's an honor to be.
Spread the word, man. I want more people to make that sentence. It's a good day when you can talk to Frederick. Well, cool, man. This is good. I want to use this time wisely. I know it's Friday, and as we record this, it's 3 p.m. here on the left coast. On the right coast, it is 6 p.m. Right? So
6 p.m. Yeah,
which is Miller dinner time. So let's. I want to be respectful of your time and use it wisely. This is going to be interesting because we talked a lot. You and I have talked offline a fair amount about some of the issues that are facing photographers in terms of all the stuff that they have to get done. You know, that's scheduling appointments, invoicing, contracts, you know, on and on and on, and how all that stuff right now most of us are doing that using a sort of a cocktail or a salad of different tools and applications to get that done. You and your team have taken that salad and sort of put it all together and baked it and made a streamlined one-stop shop in many ways for most people that you can just go to and handle your clients from soup to nuts, or from first contact all the way through to billing. What you want to explain it? Like if you're at one of those swanky New York City cocktail parties on a Friday night, and someone says, "Hey, Paul, what do you do? What do you tell them about Picr?"
Oh, geez. It depends who I'm talking to, of course. Depends how tech savvy they are and it just depends. But, you know, in a nutshell, like I think where you started off earlier is exactly kind of where I typically start off in terms of kind of the idea of a CRM. That's a concept that a lot of people are familiar with, especially anybody who's doing any kind of freelancing. You know, they've had to wrestle at some point, like, what do I do with these clients? Like, okay, I just booked somebody. Like, now what? I have this contact. Do I just like forget about this person, or do I need to store this somewhere and follow up? And how do I keep track of all my contacts? And so it kind of starts with a general idea of like contact relationship management software, or, you know, kind of functionality. Mm-hmm. And that's really at the core. I mean, like it's how do you deal with your clients? Like, and how are you being enabled by technology to deal with them more efficiently, to maximize, you know, all the potential of your business. And so, you know, CRM is just kind of the foundational part, and then you just keep building on that. Like think of all the other points of contact that happen. For example, like scheduling, right? So you need to schedule a session date. Right now, most photographers and freelancers, you know, they'll just do this back and forth emailing, which is just annoying for everyone, or they'll like get on a call, which is somewhat more efficient, but still you have to like dial the number and like hope that you're not like walking or driving or riding a bike or something. And it's still kind of annoying where, you know, if you're a little bit more progressive, then you're signing up for maybe like acuity scheduling or something, and then you're using, you know, you're syncing your calendar with you know the service, and then they can just pick available dates. That's nice, right? But now you have to like log into a separate account. You have to pay for this extra service to use their thing, and then whoever you're booking, they're not like automatically added to your CRM. It's just, you know, like all that data lives in that little vertical. Yeah. And that's just, you know, one little point of contact. Once you've like scheduled something, you know, then like, what do you do with them after that? You need to like send an invoice right, to like collect money. So then you're like, okay, it's another point of contact. I'm not gonna like say, hey, send me a check. That's like so outdated. Like nobody does that. So you want to make it easy. So you want to send them a digital invoice. So now you have to like subscribe to another service, like I don't know, PayPal or Stripe or Square or something, and then like maybe make an invoice there, and then now you're have to keep track of like who paid and who didn't, and who owes how much. If you're just looking at all your payments in Square, that's not going to tell you anything, right? It's just like a bunch of transactions. That's not like project management. So then you're like signing up for another tool that's going to do like project management for you. Now you have like, again, you're re-entering all these clients and you're re-entering who paid what because they paid on Square. Now you have to enter that data into here. And now you're keeping track of like, what are all the steps of, of each project? Am I like, following up with all the clients, and then like you lose their emails, so you have to find them in your Gmail. It's a nightmare. We haven't even started talking about acquiring the clients. Right. Yeah. Then there's tools around like web presence, like what platform you're using for that. You have to keep your website updated, so you have to like log in and like throw your new images on there, and then like, but you have a website, but are you actually like capturing the visitors, or is it just like not doing anything?
Yep.
So it's like tools like Intercom.
It's a full-time job just doing any of this stuff, right? So like what you just went through is the dirt. You basically lifted up the carpet and show that the glamour of, hey, I'm going to start a photography business, and all I got to do is take a bunch of pictures, and I get paid. And then you pull that carpet back, and you see all the dust and dirt underneath it, and it's all those disparate applications and all those different steps that you, as the business owner or the solopreneur, have to keep track of. And that's, like you said, it's everything. Like even me on my side, like if you look at This Week in Photo as an example, it's we're advertising supported. So it's, the reaching out to advertisers, it's the billing piece, it's the contracts, it's the invoices. And I thought I was relatively savvy. I'm like, you know what? I got Trello going on. I got Google Docs for this. I've got Slack for that. I've got, I'm using FreshBooks for billing. I've got all these different tools and I'm organized. So I've got a bookmark list of all my different tools that I need to go through. Yeah. And full disclosure, I knew about CRM software. Like Salesforce is like the grandfather, the granddaddy of CRM, which is, it's like a sledgehammer in our world. It's like a sledgehammer for a gnat, right? So I didn't know
it's built for enterprise. Like it's not
enterprise
built for
level. Yeah, it's people that do this all day, every day, and need to know that they're making a call and they can say, hey, Bob, how's the daughter? And they want to know all that data about that customer so they can sell them the next, Merlin rocket engine for the SpaceX launch or something. Right?
Exactly.
But for us, we don't need that many touch points. So full disclosure, I knew about CRM, but I didn't know that there were businesses like Picr that did this for my people, right?
Right.
So talk about that. I want to take the interview first in that direction. So once you told me about Picr, I started lifting up and doing research, and I found out there's several other players that you are competing with. So tell me, like, what makes Picr different than some of the other choices out there that photographers that are CRM savvy have to choose from?
Yeah. Okay. That's an awesome question. We actually don't see ourselves. I mean, in some ways we're competitors, but in many ways we have quite a different vision and kind of identity. So there's some similar kind of project management all-in-one, so to speak.
Yeah.
And they'll go by kind of an all-in-one title. I mean, all-in-one is like one of those words that like means anything to anyone and means virtually nothing because like it's used so broadly and
and it could also be negative, right?
It's like all in one for what,
right?
Like,
or jack of all trades, master of none, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's that like that title doesn't really get us too far, and so we've like even hesitated at times to use it. But usually what they mean is they're specifically referring to like project management kind of cycles. And so like, maybe some lead management and then like project management booking, and then maybe, some delivery aspects, but mostly it's just like booking and managing your project. So it's like project management, under this like all-in-one umbrella. That's not really what like Shopify is for e-commerce. So like if anybody, you know, listening to this has experimented with selling products online, and say at first you started and you like wanted to sell t-shirts or something, or I don't know, something from Alibaba or something, like, and you you know, you go to WordPress and then like do WooCommerce and like try to set up a store. It's a freaking nightmare.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, it's insane how complex and difficult, and just like to get the store set up online, not even talking about like trying to sell anything, just trying to get it working, right?
Yep.
And then like enter Salesforce, and you just like within minutes you have Shopify, a beautiful store.
Enter Shopify.
I'm sorry. Enter Shopify.
Yep.
You have a beautiful store. You know, all your products, you just like upload them. It's all like linked to your Facebook. You can instantly sell, process payments. They have like all these tools built into it. I mean, it just simplifies your life so much. All right. And I'm not even like, you know, like I'm not even paid by Shopify to say this, but it's true.
No,
they're
it's
like
totally
amazing,
true.
right?
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
And they've transformed, I would say, you know, e-commerce and kind of introduced this like, hey, you can do this so much better. Nothing like that really exists for freelancers doing services like photography, or if you're a florist or you're a DJ or a tattoo artist. I mean, whatever, you name it. So currently the setup is you have to use all these fragmented tools that are built for SMBs, small and medium-sized businesses, and they're built with a very specific niche focus. They have tons of feature around that one task.
Yeah.
And so you're paying a lot of money. You're having to learn a new interface. You're having to re-enter all your data. And it just doesn't work in the end. Like you try it, you get excited about this feature, you sign up for it, you like start adding it to your flow, and then it just becomes a hassle managing it.
Yeah.
And so freelancers always go through these cycles of like trying these tools, and then just like, not because the tools are bad, but it's just too much.
It is too much. And that's the scary thing, though. Right, that's the scary thing, because, you know, we, like you said, we try all these tools, and the tools are great. They're powerful, right? Like all the tools that I mentioned are powerful on their own in their niches, but they don't really talk to each other. It's not. It's so you, which there's pluses and minuses. They're like, well, I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket or whatever, right? But at the same time, they don't talk to each other. So it's the onus is on you to make sure that this data gets from there to there, and this data gets from there to there. And I've kept up with that. And you mentioned WordPress and WooCommerce. That's in that being a nightmare. That's the beginning of a nightmare, right? because there's the updates that happen that then break the site. That you have to figure out and all that stuff.
Exactly.
So then enter Picr, right? Enter Picr.
Yeah.
Well, then what are you guys solving?
So, and this is what I think makes us distinctly different from like any other kind of players in this space for the freelancing market, is our vision is truly the entire kind of business cycle. So we think about what needs to happen all the way from the point of like where you're feeding the funnel, all the way to delivery and remarketing. And so and we build features around a business cycle that's very specific to the of a freelancing scenario. So you know, for us, it's really important that we give freelancers an ability to have a really good web presence that actually works. Mm-hmm. So like a website that's beautiful, that's easy to create, easy to keep updated, and it's actually converting people. So right now we built a web builder just to show you that, you know, we can build this. Like, this is part of our vision. It's still in beta, so, you know, it has certain limitations. We're going to continue expanding on all the features there. But like one of the most powerful things that we're offering right now is this messenger that you can install on any website, and it's just a simple JavaScript that you know, copy paste, but it lets you like actually interact with people visiting your website. And when it comes to freelancers, this is so critical because your web traffic isn't that high anyway. Yeah. And so you have to absolutely maximize on whatever traffic you get. Yeah. And you need the best strategy for, like, you know, capturing that traffic, and a chat is literally the best way to do that. So you got to have some good calls to action, like depending on how you set up your website. So for example, if you're like not going to display prices on your site, but that's the next logical step. So then like your chat call to action can say like, request pricing or something, right? So that they have to request it, and then they're entering their email, and then you're starting a conversation, and then they're in your flow. Like you're keeping track of them. You tag them. We have this beautiful system where you can categorize, and essentially you're putting them into like different buckets for later follow-up conversations.
And that's from the pop-up form. So the pop-up form on the website, that is for folks that have been on the internet. You've probably seen these. Yeah. That's in the bottom right-hand corner usually of a website. You'll see like a little thought bubble or text bubble or something, and they can click that, and that'll bring up a dialogue where they can initiate. Usually it's for support or something, right? So and this is actually really interesting that you mentioned that, because traditionally web chat has always been used for customer support. Mm-hmm. And there's this new trend right now. It's really being pioneered by this company called Intercom, which was a small startup out of Ireland, and now they're just this ginormous multi-billion-dollar company. Yeah. And it's a trend that's huge in tech. Like it's completely rewired everyone's approach to dealing with chat, and they're calling it conversational marketing. It's no longer called customer support. So you are engaging in a personal conversation with people visiting your site to start building a relationship with them, and then essentially get them to book you. And this is especially important for services like photography, because of the kind of service it is. Because you like I said, you don't have that much traffic that you're feeding in your funnel anyway, and you have max on every single person, but the biggest thing is photography requires some kind of a relationship. Yeah. Like when clients think of booking a photographer, they're instantly thinking like, is this a person I'm going to enjoy being with? Am I going to be comfortable with them? So starting a personal touch from the beginning increases conversion incredibly powerful in ways. So like statistically, even like across the board, it's 82% is the number where somebody is more likely to book from you if they chat with you on your site. Yeah. Yeah. And does the chat box, the conversational marketing box, right? Does that replace the contact us form, like in the next generation, or is it augmented? Does it add to it? It adds to it. Yeah, it can. I mean, if you just wanted to use that, right now, we just released a ton of features, and I'll show you later where you can build as many forms as you want, and then you could just embed them. So if you wanted like a contact page where people could answer questions, you can do that on top of the chat thing. Our chat messenger also has a form built into it. Actually, would you like me to show you for those who will be watching this? Yeah. Let's do a screen. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do a screen share and go into it. Here, so this is just for the folks that are listening to the audio version of the podcast. We're in a screen share now. So if you want to see this screen share, Paul's going to try to be hopefully as respectful to the audio listeners as possible. But if you want to see this, definitely come to either our YouTube channel or to thisweekinphoto.com, and you'll find it. For sure. Just like you were saying, though, it's a little bubble that lives on the bottom corner. You can, set to activate it within 5 seconds if you wanted it to just like pop up, and there's a little greeting that you can customize your image or logos there, however you wanted to make it. And then if I start writing, hey, I love your images, like, are you available or whatever. And then when I press next, well, I'm logged in here. Then it'll ask for like your name, last name, and email. And so before they can even start a conversation, they're leaving their information. That way you're capturing that lead. Literally the easiest way to start capturing leads. Like you don't have to do any gimmicks. You don't have to write a freaking book and give it away. And like everyone's like fatigued of email capture like gimmicks. But this is like a conversation, It's based on like an actual need, like an actual response to your images, etc. And then you can add a form in here. So like, here I put book me. You can do like anything you want. And it opens up this beautiful form where you can customize your questions. You can do a scheduler in here. You can do, just any random questions that you need to qualify this lead so that you know how to follow up with them. And you can figure all those, right? All those questions that are being shown, the user or the owner of the Picr account is setting all that stuff up. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. And I can just quickly jump into the dashboard here and
and show you here. Of course, those of you who have accounts, or if you wanted to create an account, you could just play around with all this and see how it works. But yeah, there's a tab here that says forms, and you just like do new form, and then there's different kinds of form that you can create. This is so powerful, Friedrich. I can't even like overemphasize this, how much this can do for freelancers. So there's lead capture, which basically is what you're going to use for kind of marketing purposes. So this you'll have maybe on your website. You can throw this into your Instagram. You can throw this on your Facebook description. You can add this to your Yelp account posting. You can add this to like your Google, account, like everywhere where people are like running into you, and you want to capture their information and start qualifying the leads. Like you create a form with a unique link and you throw that there, like, and then you just say like, hey, book me here and provide this link.
That's it.
And that's it, right? And then so here you go in and you just create entries. Like what kind of questions? You can do multiple choice, you can do scheduling, you can do short paragraph, text, yes, no, kind of the traditional kind of form builder, like if you were using Typeform or something. And then you do like an intro, outro, and then here you customize your URL, and then we'll also have embedding. So you do that, you build this form, and you just throw it everywhere and let the leads come in. Like, wherever you're getting like web presence, you got to give them a call to action. Otherwise, they don't know what to do. You like have to take people by the hand and guide them. Like, hey, go here and book me here. You'd have to tell them that and
make it easy for them. And you said you can make as many forms as you want, right? I'm looking at. So you got to book a headshot. You got get started, a website form. Those are the different kinds of forms that you can do.
Yeah. So then there's also, you can do like questionnaire forms. So these would live, these you would use, like if you have a project already going and you need to gather more information, like if you got a wedding and you need to just ask a whole ton of questions about who's going to be attending, when and where, and all that jazz. You just create the form once, and then from your project, I'll just show you that quickly. We'll come back to projects later, but I'll demo it now. You'll just select send form.
Yep.
And then select whatever form you have built. So I don't have a questionnaire form built, so I can't show you here. But basically, from your project, you will send out the form, and then it'll be linked to this project, so that anytime you're viewing your project, you'll see all the answers.
And where do you see those answers at? So in the case of, like, of course, I'm going to ask selfish questions, right? So in the case of how I'm going to set my account up in here, so I would say. Yeah. I would, so a lead would come in through either a form or through the question, the question pop up, and then they'd be in the system. And then I'd say, well, this person wants more information on TWiP advertising prices. So let me get some more information about what they want. Like, do they want to advertise it using this engine or that engine or whatever, right? So I could send them a questionnaire, and then that data would come back into where does that data come from?
So see right here, it says see answers.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll see a list of all your questions and all their answers. You'll also get an email of all of this, but it'll be attached to this lead or to that project. You'll never have to like search for their answers in some email that got buried last week. It'll always be like right here, ready for you. And if they fill out multiple forms, they'll all be here in one place, related to that project, related to that contact. Again, we're trying to simplify this, just kind of across the board. So that's the questionnaires. And then thirdly, there's instant booking. This is like where it goes to a completely new level, man. Like nobody's doing this. I'm not even joking. This is kind of our own invention as we, kept thinking about how can we make this booking process seamless, easy, streamlined, like, because you got to make it easy for your clients. I don't know if you knew this stat, but when Amazon introduced their one-click payout checkout, their revenue grew by about $1 billion, like overnight. Insane. Just
I did not know that. The only thing I knew about the one click was that they filed a patent for it. I remember back in the day, Apple was trying to fight the patent or something, but or someone was trying to fight the patent because they're like, you can't patent a click, and they did.
I know,
right?
Yeah. It was a terrible lawsuit. Yeah, but it was so profitable, and the main parable there is just they made it easier.
Yeah.
And when you make it easier and you remove friction, clients are much likely to go through it. So we're thinking like, okay, for people booking photographers, like there's so much freaking friction, like to find and book, and there's like so many steps, and it's just a freaking nightmare. So here we've created this way where you can create a form that has the complete booking process in it. And I'll show you here quickly and talk you through it for those listening. So I'm demoing here, how to do a headshot.
Yeah.
And if you have a headshot, thing that you're offering service, or if you're doing portraits or like senior shoots or whatever. And so I'm going to go into edit and I'll show you kind of how this works. So here's the questions I created. And then this instant booking question. Here are the packages, and these packages are completely customizable. So, you set the duration, the title, you create all the items. You're essentially building an invoice here. That's going to be presented beautifully in this package builder that I'm going to show you.
By the way, let me pause you for a second, Paul. So yeah, I just want to give you you and your team, some kudos, because I literally have tried many of the other services, your competitors, I would assume, kind of out there, and your design is beautiful. I'm not just saying that because I'm your friend. I'm just saying the design of Picr is 2020 beautiful. It is not 2018, it's not 2016. It's the next generation of design, it feels like. So kudos on that. It's beautiful.
Thank you. That means so much, because that falls square into our vision of making things simpler, and you have to have a simple interface. Otherwise, a feature can be nice, but if people don't know how to use it,
it makes Picr feel like the operating system for a business versus an app that you bought and you're trying to graft into your business. It feels like the operating system for your business.
Oh, I love that. Picr OS.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. You can have
nice.
that.
I love it. We just need to start making hardware now and run the operating system on it. Our own tablets, no, I'm just kidding. Okay. So then there's, contract. You can do the whole traditional retainers. This is really cool, by the way. If you're doing, $100 retainer, you can set so that the remaining balance would be auto charged on the day of the project, for example, or a few days before or after or whatever. And again, you don't have to hunt them down. You don't have to send them another invoice. It'll just automatically charge them, and it'll tell them when they're booking that they'll be charged automatically on such a date. Again, simplifying the whole process for you.
And how is it charged? Well, two questions looking at the screen right here.
Yeah.
So the contract. So I noticed that's a Picr contract is a PDF. Do you allow me to build my own contract within the system and type it out and then have that be displayed, or do I have to build that separately as a PDF and upload that into the system? And then the second part of that question is when they pay when they pay the invoice that they're getting, or the QuickBook or whatever, where's that money going? Is it going into PayPal? Is it going through your system? Is it going through Stripe? How does that part work?
All right, awesome questions. Let's start with the contract.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're creating contract templates, you can either upload a PDF or create a template by copying and pasting text, or just typing it in yourself.
Okay.
So we give you both options, right? And then here, if I'm typing in a text, you can of course insert all the variables of your business name, email, the client name, kind of project details. So your contract will be filled in with the details of the client.
Yeah.
So however you want to set it up. One innovative feature here that we developed, actually together with, we spoke with Rachel Branke when we did it, is this feature called auto countersign.
Mm-hmm.
Again, kind of continuing with this idea of how do we make it simpler and streamlined and easy, and removing the hassle. The whole contract signature step of booking photo services is a freaking nightmare. And I can't believe this, but still photographers will send a PDF and say, can you print this, sign it, scan it, send it back to me, and I will print it, sign it, scan it, and send it back to you. And then we have a legally binding situation going on. Who the hell wants to do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even have a printer. I'm going to have to go to UPS to print this thing, or FedEx or something. It's a total nightmare. And you just can't do that. You can't do that, expect that of your clients, because it's too much to ask.
Yeah. It's friction. Like you said, it's friction.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you have to remove that. And so what we designed is this thing called auto countersign. Basically, you create a signature once, and then when you're creating projects, you can select to apply an auto counter signature to it. And as soon as your contacts or your client signs, your signature is automatically applied to it, and they can instantly have the document with both signatures digitally available.
Oh, that's brilliant. So it's not a situation where it's saying, hey, you signed this document, and now it's waiting on Frederick to sign the document. When Frederick finally gets around to signing the document, then you both get the fully executed thing. You're saying once they sign, it automatically assumes that, yeah, you want to sign it too, and signs it for you, and now you're done, and you're in contract at that point.
Exactly, because you're telling the system basically like apply my signature as soon as they sign it, kind of a thing, and it does it for you. So it's that easy and convenient, and it just streamlines the whole process. But like, of course, if you're having some ginormous project and you feel like auto counter is signing it, might make the client feel like, I don't know, whatever, and you want to actually like print it and sign it, you can do that as well. So we give you the option. As far as go, we do integrate with Square and Stripe, and soon we'll have PayPal. Currently, if you want to just create an account with Picr, you don't have a Square or Stripe account, you can create a merchant account with us, and we've partnered with Braintree, so you don't even need to like go in and create a third party account anywhere. You just like input your bank information, and you can have direct deposits going to your bank as soon as money comes through. And then we just give you the option here, like, do you want us to hold the money in case you wanted to refund it? So that this is how you'll have kind of process refunds, or you just connect your Square or Stripe account and just manage it through there. It's up to you.
Very cool. Wow. Okay, continue. I'm excited, man. This is awesome. Before you go into the next thing you're gonna show us, as I'm looking through this, and this is kind of the thing that I noticed on some of the other services as well. They seem to be targeted at a specific demographic or business type. Whether it's photographers or event planners or whatever. So is that the same with Picr? Are you squarely targeting this at photographers, or can other businesses like mine use it to manage their workflow?
Awesome question. Our initial kind of niche or vertical, however you want to call it, is photographers. That's how we started it. We built it around that use case because we wanted to make sure that there was a very specific group of people that our product would be very relevant to and it would apply to. But we always knew that we wanted to reach broader. And so we wanted to understand from the beginning, like, what is that cycle? What is that business cycle that all these freelancers who are offering their services have to go through? And honestly, it's the same cycle. There's just little variants.
Yep.
And so, and every industry will have their own like little tools that need to be somewhat kind of adjusted, but at the core, like 80-90% of it's the same thing. And so, we're starting with kind of, photographers, and then, florists and event planners and, everything around like entertainment, even like tattoo artists. We have people who are consultants using our service, and now podcasters, I take it.
Yes.
And so, it's just, we never know like exactly how far into what, actually lawyers, it's very interesting, the kind of applications, but everyone who's freelancing, and people like the freelancing industry is growing so fast. I mean, it's been doubling, and it's expected by 2025 that it'll represent about half of the workforce.
Oh, I love that. I'd love to hear stats like that, because there's lots of people escaping the plantations of corporate America.
yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about that before we go on, because this is fascinating. I want to have you keep running through the app a little bit, but the age and the maturity of Picr. Right. So how old is the service? Is it out of beta now? Is it still in beta? What's your user base like? I'm trying to, for myself and for the This Week in Photo audience, get a feel for the maturity, and should they be entrusting their business workflows to the app? Can you speak to that a little?
Yeah. So we started about 2.5 years ago with this very vision that I'm describing to you. And a little over a year ago, maybe a year and like 3 months ago, we opened our beta, and we had a good group of like around 1,000 users that joined us at that point.
Wow.
And some of them, came in and said, "Oh, this is too early for me." And we were like, "That's totally fine. Like we're just kind of like, here's our vision, here's where we're going. Like if you want to join this super early with us and follow us with the process and give us your feedback, that's awesome. And, we'll definitely like give you guys awesome deals just because you're being our early users. And so we did that for over a year, where we just kept refining these features and listening to our users. And every like 2 weeks, we're releasing something big. And we like, honestly, like when it came to features, we always would ask the question, what's going to have biggest impact for these users, because there's so many bells and whistles that were requested all the time. And we're thinking like size of like actual difference for the majority. And so like those of you who listening who were with us from the beginning, you can just testify how like constantly getting these emails of like, hey, this feature was just released and this feature and this feature. And we're like constantly adding and adding and adding. And now, like the big vision of the entire flow has really come together, and we've exited out of beta for the majority of the project of the product. The only features that are still in beta is the website builder and image delivery. Those are very MVP-ish, minimal viable product. So it works. It's, your image delivery is going to be better than Dropbox. It's going to be better than like emailing the pictures. It's going to have a beautiful, experience, but it's not going to have all the bells and whistles. Like it's on our, roadmap. We'll build that out, especially with the website aspect. We have a vision for doing it that we think can be drastically more efficient and better than even like Squarespace and WordPress.
That's good to hear. And that's again sort of down your vision of kind of bringing all these disparate services under one umbrella to make them easy to manage, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Speaking of bringing disparate services in, one of the features that you guys, I don't know how recent it was, but you added was the bookings feature, where people can basically, if to my eyes, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like it's a feature that replaces services like, say, Calendly or Acuity scheduling or those ilk of book me for consultants or freelancers type services. That's built in. Is that built in to the service as part of the code? And if so, what am I giving up? Because I'm a Calendly user right now. So what am I giving up if I say, I'm going to use Picr for all my scheduling?
You're giving up nothing. You're only gaining. This is so exciting to announce, Frederick. And honestly, we just released this last week and just announced this to our community today. So I'm like really honored to be on your show the day that we're announcing it, and we get to announce it to your community as well. And I'll just mention this now. We talked earlier about this. We'll go ahead and extend the promo that we made available to our early users. For your community, just because we're big fans of you and are grateful for everything that you do. So we'll have that linked, and so you can literally, if you like what we're doing, you like our product, you like our vision, you can lock in rates right now that we're making available to our early users that are just freaking insane. And you could do 5-year, 7-year, or even lifetime options, where you could literally get a lifetime package that would be paid off in 2 years. So
thank you.
It's like a win-win. Yeah. So we'll include all the links for that. It's a special URL, and so your community will definitely have the opportunity to take advantage of that. So let me go in and show you this instant booking thing, which is kind of where we left off. So this is just mind-boggling how it changes the whole flow. So I'm going to go back to this headshot flow. And so I've created like a set of questions. First question is, what kind of headshot are you looking for? Then please introduce yourself. And then there's this instant booking flow of several questions that I'm going to kind of walk you through here. And then I showed you how to create this. So I went into edit. So here's the packages. I can customize, of course, all the questions. And then any add-ons are in these packages. So now watch this. I've customized my URL. It's just going to be, my domain /headshots. And then I'm going to open that up, and I get this, URL that I can paste anywhere right now. Like I said, put it on my Yelp, put it on wherever. Maybe I have like a separate Instagram account just for my headshots, and I'm just in my description, I'm going to say like, book me here, and I'm going to like throw this link on there. And so here it is. Here's my little welcome text. I mean, it's beautiful. My image is there. It's all kind of, designed well, and you can customize your colors so that it matches your brand colors. And then you just click next, and it's, what kind of headshot are you looking for? We ask one question at a time. That way it's not overwhelming. And these perform way better than like those long form, like questionnaires that live on your website, and you're like, oh crap, I have to answer like this whole thing.
Yep.
Maybe not, but if
Maybe
it's just like
later,
one question, right? Yeah. And we even like, look at this. We gave them like, if they don't even want to like raise their hand to move their cursor, they can do it all from their keyboard. They can just press A and it'll select model, or B, it'll select actor. Like, we're trying to make it so easy, like that. No friction. Like, if you're so lazy you can't find your mouse, just freaking use your keyboard, like,
Yeah.
And then like next, or just press enter, like, and then so here's the packages, like, you can customize these completely. So I have Express, which is 30 minutes, Standard an hour, and then kind of the top shelf is 2 hours. These are all the items included. These packages will essentially translate to invoices. Mm-hmm. And then so I select the one I think that I'm interested in. And then here's all the add-ons that I created. If my add-ons had time attached to them, then it'll increase the total booking time automatically. So say like, there's like a makeup session that I'm going to like add to the booking. If I had time added to it, it'll increase the total time.
Okay.
And then in your portal, you will have set up your calendar availability. So here's kind of your booking calendar, and then you go in here and set up your availability. And so like, say I'm closed on Mondays, on Tuesdays, I have these intervals that I've created. Wednesdays, I'm just 8 to 5. Thursday, I'm 8 to 5. And then you can just, individual days, say I'm closed or open, same as you would do like in Acuity or Calendly. Mm-hmm. It's a very similar flow. You're setting up your schedule and you're maintaining it. And then in your events calendar, you link your, Google Calendar or iCal, and then whatever's been blocked off is going to be unavailable for your clients. So I'm going to go back to this flow. Here it is. And they're just seeing available times.
And this is the client picking their like initial consultation time.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever you set up. So here as a headshot photographer, I'm actually like, I want to sell this package. I want to like collect money. Mm-hmm. So they've selected a package. They've selected add-ons. Now they're selecting date. They're, say 10 a.m. on the 24th. And now they're entering their information. It's out so I can demo it to you. So I also remember I included a contract. And I did a PDF, so it's going to open in a separate window here. I can read through that contract, and then I'm just going to sign it. Look at this. I don't have to like go to UPS and print anything. Yeah. I just enter my name, sign contract, as Peter would say, shebang. All done. Press next, and here I'm going to collect payment.
Wow.
And it all lives on this link in this form, which you can have anywhere. You can have it in your messenger. You can have it on your website. You can have it just, post it everywhere and make it really easy for anyone to book you. Nice little overview of your package. It's just like Shopify. Like, we've made this, storefront experience just much easier. And here's my, retainer, or they can just pay the full amount right away and not even worry about it. And made it beautiful so that it's trustworthy. Again, like good UI or good like interface is so important. If it's ugly, most people today just will feel like I can't trust it.
Yes, absolutely, because there's no excuse for bad design these days. Yeah,
exactly. And like photographers, they're not web designers, and they want to design like an interface that they think is going to build trust, but you have to like learn the techniques of web design then. Mm-hmm. Otherwise you think it's doing one thing, but it's actually doing something else. And so here, you're trusting us, and we're the experts who are going to be hiring these designers and making sure that we're using the best tactics and like, badges on the site and everything to like help increase conversion and build trust and everything. And then, you submit the payment and it's done.
Now, Paul, what if one of your customers, a subscriber, has multiple brands, right? So if they're like Sarah Smith Photo here, Sarah Smith Photo does weddings, but then she has a completely different brand that she wants to keep sort of separate from Sarah Smith Photo, that she does, I don't know, photography workshops or something. Yeah. And she wants to be able to manage those. Would that require a completely separate Picr account, or is there a way to manage both of those brands within one account?
It depends how distinct those brands are. Mm-hmm. So for example, like say you're doing portraits, but you're doing like a lot of different kinds of portraits, including maybe like boudoir all the way to like senior portraits or something. Mm-hmm. One option is, you could have like one website where you feature all that. say you have websites outside of Picr, you're not using our web builder, you're using Squarespace or something. In that case, you could manage it all under one account, because still you can go into these forms and you can create a form for your boudoir session, and then a form for your senior session, and then you just create as many as you want.
Yeah.
And then you can still manage it, behind the scenes under one account. But if you wanted but if you're actually having brands where your name is different on all of those brands, not just like the service is different, then yes, you would want to create several different accounts with us. And what we're going to do is, on our roadmap, we have planned a studio account where we will let you manage multiple brands in one account.
Awesome.
And as soon as we release that, we will let you merge your accounts into one, so you won't have to log into several places.
Yeah, the reason I ask is, again, selfish, right? So there's the This Week in Photo brand that I own and run, and then there's Frederick Van, the photographer side, who does public speaking and workshops and all that other stuff, which is separate from the TWiP brand, or I want to keep them separate. They're both me, but graphically and IRS wise, they're separate entities. So.
And most people, when they run different brands, they will still have one umbrella kind of company that will kind of oversee the sub kind of brands and the branches. So it depends. It depends, like how important is it to build trust with your clients that you kind of use that specific name, or if you can use the umbrella company name, like everybody knows your name anyway. If you just use the Friedrich kind of brand, that it would be fine across, say, for example, all of your experiences. Maybe that's fine. If it's not, then you just create a different account and manage the brand that way. And as soon as we release it, we'll merge them together into one.
Very cool. Wow, this is amazing. This is amazing. Good stuff, man. What else?
Yeah,
what else? Show me more.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the goodies are only starting, right? So this is like the boring part. This is the settings page. This is like, you can build templates. So since we're here in the settings page, I'll show you just some more things that you can do here. Let's just talk about automations for a minute, which is also really important.
It's on my list, yeah.
This is also, we've innovated here quite a bit. It's, to be honest, this and instant booking, like in terms of UX, are just insane challenges, because how do you create it where it works for everybody? It's flexible. It can like account for all these different use cases. And that's what we did with these automations. So you can create all sorts of amazing, gears to start spinning on their own. So say, for example, like I want to do follow-up, headshot. Actually, I want to do like prep, headshot email. And I want this email to go out to all my headshot bookings like 2 days before the session, just to like tell them what to expect. And it's just going to be like an informational thing. And I want this to automatically go out. I don't even want to think about it, because it's going to be like the same thing to everybody. So I'm going to create this this automation. So I'm going to send email, and here I can create as many templates as I want. So I'll have a template that says something like, I could do like add new template here, and it'll say like, prep for, headshot, or whatever. I'm not going to like create this template because I don't have time right now, but you kind of get the idea. So then you'll select the email that's going to be going out. And then in that email, of course, you can do variables. So like, hey, so-and-so, insert, client name, for example.
Yeah, nice.
And then you could do like, hey, we have this project, coming up in 2 days. You can do project module, which will display all their like, project details. So it's a really nice like email that'll have inserted all the project information.
Oh, nice.
And then,
so you don't have to redo it.
Yeah, you don't have to like, it'll be like really, it'll remind them of all the details maybe that they might have forgotten, like the time or whatever. Then when would you like to automate? And so the trigger for me is going to be project date. And you could do like payment processed, or project created, or status changed, or contract signed, or lead form filled out. I mean, there's like all sorts of triggers, but I'm going to do project date. And instead of immediately, I'm going to do before, and I'm going to do 2 days before project date. And then I can create conditions. And this is what's really important, because I want this only to go out to my headshot clients, not everyone. So here I'm going to do specialty, and I'm going to select business headshot.
And where did those come from, those specialties?
So in my branding section, I create specialties.
Okay,
and
you put those in. That's not a Picr thing. That is a user customizable thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You select specialties, and then we give you a lot to choose from, but you can also kind of create your own.
Okay.
And then every project you're just like tagging with that specialty when you're booking it. And you can create as many rules as you want so that you can get really granular with like your automations, who exactly it's going out to, with what kind of details. You can create another one like a year later. I want to follow up with so and so, just saying, hey, it's been, or like a month later, hey, it's been a month. What do you think about, booking again or whatever? And like all these things just kind of will be going out on their own, and you don't have to be thinking about them.
So
it'll have the
there you
name
go. So
there.
that's a lethal injection for the MailChimp account, right? because now you can do your automations directly in here, or your sort of customer relationship autoresponders directly in here without having to wire up a MailChimp to do it for you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's exactly it. Yeah. So that's automations, really powerful. It's all here, and you can customize just the crap out of it. Okay, so let me just kind of walk you through. First of all, with Picr, this is like the first time where you can have a real dashboard. I mean, like everything from your funnel all the way through like image delivery, right? So you can track like what are your website views, how many of them are being converted to leads, how many are converting to projects, and then kind of what are my earnings stats. Because we've put it all in one place, you can now see that in one place, which like currently, if you wanted to have a dashboard, you would have to like integrate Cluvio, get like API integration to all of these different services that you use, so that they're pulling the data and giving you a dashboard, and nobody's going to do that as a freelancer. That's like technically so complicated.
No, we're artists, man. We don't want to do that.
Yeah. You want a nice, pretty dashboard that tells you the numbers that are important and like, leaves out all the things that you don't need to think about.
Yeah.
So I showed you leads briefly, but yeah, if you're like, constantly feeding your funnel, you should have a lot of leads, and then, ability to tag them and mark off their status. Like, is somebody like on hold, or am I actively pursuing them? And this way you'll know exactly like, hey, these are the people that I'm working. These are the people that I need to be following up with. And Joel Grimes talks about this. He says the magic number of follow-ups is something like 8 or 9 before you get a response that's actually, what you're looking for. So you have to keep following up, and you need a system to do that. This is like, again, that CRM component, but specifically applying to leads now.
Yeah.
And this could be, businesses or any opportunities. It's just, you're throwing it into here. And then
what if I'm a new customer and I've just signed up for Picr, and I've already got, say, I've been in business for several years, and I've got a bunch of people, say they're, not wedding clients, obviously, but they're headshot clients, or somebody that I want to reach out to have them convert to customer again. Can I bring them in and message them using sort of the automated features that you showed, where it's sort of filling in and make an offer? So you can say, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. Check out this new package I got. You might want to get this for Halloween. We're doing a Halloween pumpkin shoots. Come sign up, and put them in the flow and have them pay and all that. Can you build something like that?
Yeah. Let me just show you. That's actually one of the first things that we'd recommend doing. So in your contacts, so this tab right here is like where all your contacts live. There's a function here to import contacts. So you'll export them wherever you have them right now, if it's in another system or if it's in your Gmail. Actually, this is funny. Like, most photographers use just their Gmail for their CRM, which is terrible. Like, that's not a CRM. It's just email. That's all it is. But you can export all your contacts from like your business email and just drag it into here, and then you'll align like, all the columns to make sure that the data is being imported properly. And then it just imports all the stuff for you, and you have all your clients, and then you go through and tag them so that you know who you're sending emails to.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you're ready, you create a campaign, you create a form, and then you can email them either through Picr, or if you wanted to send them a batch through your Gmail, you can do that as well.
What a dream.
But here, like, I could find all my like couple picture clients or whatever, or like if like I wanted to find, like, say Christmas is coming up, right? And at Thanksgiving, I want to do like a special quick, just in and out of my studio. I want to get a bunch of people doing their Christmas photos.
And how do you message all those people? I mean, do you have to do them individually, or can you say, I've just sorted, I found all the people I want. Now I want to send all these people this campaign or something. Are you able to do that? Or do you have to do them one at a time?
So through Picr, we haven't built batch emailing yet. It is on our roadmap, and we for sure will do that soon.
Okay.
So currently, if you want to do that, you just you can export and then just filter out that tag. And so just copy all those emails, paste them into your Gmail. Or if the group is small, you could just do it through Picr. So it's up to you.
What about Zapier integration? What are your thoughts on that? Is it part of the service now, or is it on the roadmap, or do you feel like you don't need it?
Yeah, we do want to include it. I mean, ultimately, we want to build Picr so robust that you don't really need anything. But for those photographers who are still going to be like using some functionality that we're not providing, we want to give them the opportunity. And so, Zapier integration is definitely coming along with QuickBooks and FreshBooks and Xero, and we're going to do a whole series of integrations in about a month.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, really soon here, because a lot of people have been asking for us for it, and it's kind of the next step. So definitely that'll be critical. So I'm just kind of walking through these tabs. We've done leads, we've done contacts. This is where all your projects are. Of course, you can send out estimates, or you can, and then these are easily convertible to projects as soon as they, are ready to book. And then here's where you manage all your projects. It's super easy. Like, I'm just going to view the invoice. Once you create it, it's a nice, beautiful invoice, has all the details of, what's included. Payment structure, and then the contract, which they can sign right as they're viewing the invoice. Mm-hmm. All right, so here's the invoice, the payment, kind of like what I showed you earlier. Inside the portal is where you manage all this stuff. So like here's the, where you manage the invoice inside the portal. You can record payments manually. You can, if there's any, credit card payments, you'll see them all appearing here. If there's, kind of pending payments that'll be withdrawn automatically, you'll see them here. So you just, everything that's going on. Like it just simplifies it for you, unlike if you're using Square and you're just seeing a bunch of transactions. Your contract is here. And then, of course, client gallery. So if you're delivering images using Picr, I'll just show you quickly how that works. Literally, you build a beautiful gallery, upload images, drag and, rearrange them. Select, cover image. You can also embed videos into here, create albums. Once it's ready, you can make it either public or private, and just send them the images. I mean, it's that easy.
That's cool. And are you able to upload the images into Picr using like a Lightroom plugin, or is it sort of a drag and drop thing?
Right now it's drag and drop, like all plugins and like all the other bells and whistles we will build out, but it's just that's why I said it's still in beta.
Yeah.
Which is also really cool because it's in beta. We're not charging for image delivery and with the website section. So we just released a freemium model. So like literally you can go in and create this website and start delivering images and like have all this for free. Once they exit out of beta, then we'll put them on a paid plan.
Wow.
So
that is fantastic. Wow. So you've got most of the bases covered here, man. That is crazy. That is crazy.
I know. But like, and think about this, like once you're delivering images through Picr and you have also a website with us, like say like, hey, I really like this image. I want to add it to my website. Boom. You just take it, drag it, drop it, and it's just added to your website.
Now it's on your website. Wow.
Because my portfolio is just integrated because it's all in one place now. You don't have to like open another tab, log into WordPress, like find your stuff, re-upload it, reorganize it. It's just, it's that easy.
Clean. I want to play with this. So when messages come out of the system, and we can wrap this up in a second here, but when messages come out of the system, who are they coming from? Are they coming from me, my Gmail account? Are they coming from sort of a Picr corporate account? How does that piece work?
Yeah, so we create an email for you, and it's going to be like your subdomain .mail.com or something like that. Mm-hmm. And honestly, though, it's not an issue at all. Like some people think it is. And later on, we will let you integrate so that it'll actually be coming from like your exact domain. Mm-hmm. But honestly, like most people are using Intercom, for example. Intercom is huge, and in terms of how many businesses it serves, and all of your emails from Intercom come from kind of their email account. The most important thing is like when you're looking in Gmail, that your name is the right kind of tagged name is showing up, and that's going to happen. But what exactly the kind of the URL, so to speak, of the email is, it's actually not a factor. And so this works so well because you can have complete two-way conversations with your clients just using Picr, where you don't really even need your Gmail anymore, because we've translated it into this like chat kind of a interface, which honestly works so much better, because even the way that you will chat via Gmail or have conversations, it's mostly like chat, like short blurbs.
Yeah.
But you have to create like a subject line, and you have to like create a start and a conclusion. It just feels like it's too much. I just want to like say this one little thing, but like I have to like do all this other stuff. And this lets you like, again, like it's simpler, it's easier, and it's more relational, it's more conversational. It like matches.
I could see where the power of something like this would come in if, and I don't know if this is on your roadmap or already there, but if you had multiple people in your account that could log in, like say I have an assistant in Arizona that manages a certain part of my business, and he or she can log in here and see this message thread and respond as the company or as me. Is that part of the service right now, having multiple people on a single account?
Yeah, so currently you would just give them your login and they could go in and do whatever. But once we do the studio package, we'll have multi-user as well. So it'll also document what user did what, and they'll have their own login information. And then you can set like access, of course, for each user. But what's really cool here in this Messenger, for example, like say you're chatting with somebody and they're just on your site, you can instantly be tagging them as well. We built tagging into the whole system so that, if you're tagging effectively, then you can follow up effectively. So like, you're talking to somebody, like you're just throwing that tag on there. You see their information, if they've booked before, like who you're dealing with. And then if you want to send them an email, you just go down here, select email, and then you send an email versus like chatting on your website.
That is so powerful. That is so powerful. Look at that. So here in two questions before I let you go eat dinner. Thank you for bearing with me. so
no worries.
The first one is actually three. Sorry. So refunds. Am I able to do refunds through the system, or if I'm integrated with Stripe, do I have to go over to Stripe to do it? And then the second one is slightly less important, but there's that weather widget that shows up. I think it's on the dashboard in there.
Yeah.
Or in an invoice or something. Am I able to get rid of that? The weather widget in there, because that doesn't really pertain. Like depending on the business, it may or may not pertain to your business.
Okay, so let's start with refunds. If you're processing payments using our merchant, which is Braintree, then you simply just go in and select a hold, and so you can refund as long as you're within the hold period, because once we've sent it to your account, then the money's in your account and there's nothing we can do about it. If you're using Square or Stripe, then you just refund via Square or Stripe, because that's what the money was used to withdraw anyway.
Yep.
So that's pretty simple. As far as the weather widget, it only lives here on the dashboard, so I'm not sure what exactly.
I thought I saw it in an invoice or something. Maybe I'm mistaken.
No, it should never be in an invoice.
Okay, cool. Oh, you know what I saw on the invoice? It was a map. I think it was a location map.
Oh yeah, like a project location map.
Yeah. Is that configurable? Because like for businesses like mine, location doesn't matter.
Yeah, if you don't have a location, you just don't include it, and the map won't be there.
Oh, easy, done. Smart.
Yeah, that easy.
Awesome.
It's all customizable. You
answered most of, not all of my questions and more. Anything else you want to share before we sign off?
Well, Friedrich, I'm super thrilled that we can have this conversation, that I can show you around. I hope that your listeners can get a chance to see this video. If not, I totally get it. Like, go in there and try it. I mean, go to Picr.com, just create an account. We have a free plan right now. Literally, you can just go in and start using it. You don't have to enter a credit card information. You don't have to like do anything. Just start using it. Like start with something simple, just like scheduling. Everybody needs that. And then just kind of start adding other functionality. I know like right away it could seem intense, and you might be thinking, oh, maybe I'll switch my whole business later. And that just seems daunting. You don't have to do the whole thing. Just like take one piece that makes sense right now and start using it. And like I said, we're extending our promo deal right now to your community as well. So Friedrich will have that information for you guys where to snag that deal.
Absolutely. Well, go ahead and switch your camera back to you so that we can see your smiling face as we sign off here. That is,
right.
Dude. Again, sincerely, congratulations, because that is deep. And when I was sitting and going through all the different features in Picr, it's like I said at the beginning, looking at it through the lens of the other services that I was looking at, the competitive services. I was like, well, they don't have this piece. And then listening to you, you're like, well, they got that and they did it better. You've nailed all the pieces. Obviously, you've done your competitive research and outdid most of the people that are in the field, if not all of them. So congratulations on that. I'm excited to play with it. I'm excited to see if I can put it into action on This Week in Photo and be the podcaster. Hopefully I'll be one of the first podcasters.
I think so. I think you'll be our first podcaster testimonial, and I'll be so thrilled to see how that goes, because that'll be a whole other community for us. That I absolutely love the podcasting community. So I'm thrilled that it can work for you, Friedrich, and we'll definitely be in touch through the process.
And I'll give you feedback and all that. Yeah, I'm excited to play with it. And just for the folks that are watching this, so you saw Paul go through the demo and all that, and give you sort of the insider look at how Picr works. But I would also encourage you to sign up for an account and then look at some of the tutorial videos that they have in there. They're very well done, very informative, very straight, quick, and to the point about the different features, and they'll sort of give you the, oh, aha, I see how that thing works. So so definitely check that out. Cool.
Perfect.
All right, Paul, thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time on a Friday night to hang out with us and show us Picr. Congratulations on a fantastic looking product, man.
Awesome. I'm glad we can make this happen.
All right, man. Take care.
Take care. See you. Bye.
This is TWiP.